Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nur Zati Mabiti Sharif. My matrix number is AA221251. So let me introduce my group member first. The first one is Muhammad Hilman Daniel bin Abdul Ghani. Matrix number is AA221372. The second one is Lokman Hakim bin Abdul Ghaffar. Matrix number is AA221925. We are from group 16 and going to present about ungrouped data and group data.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Lokman Hakim bin Abdul Ghaffar. My matrix number is AA221925. Today I will be explaining the introduction for ungrouped data. A type of data that has not been organized or grouped into specific categories. That's what we call as ungrouped data. It is also known as raw data or unorganized data. It's basically data we have collected and we haven't do anything with the data yet. So that's why it's ungrouped data. The advantages of using ungrouped data are simplicity, flexibility, and specificity. There are a few things we can calculate using this data, which is mean, median, variance, standard deviation, and mode. The formula for mean is the total of x over n, which the total of x is just the total of the data that I've collected, and the total of n is the total of the people respond, which for example, if there are 30 respondents for the data, that means the n will be 30. For median, we have to arrange the data in increasing order. If the middle of the data is odd, then the median is the middle value. Then if the number of the observation is even, the middle of the average is the 2 of the middle value. So for variance, the formula is 1 n minus 1, the sum of x power of 2 minus sum of x2 over n. For standard deviation, we just put punca kuasa 2. So for mode, we have to count the number of times each value occurs in the data set. But basically, the modes is the numbers that occurs the most in the data set. So if the data has 17 for the most occurrence in the data, then the mode is 17.
The next is group data is a type of data that has been organized into specific categories or groups. It allows for easier comparison and interpretation of the data. There are some advantages of the group data. The first one is it more compact and takes up less space, which makes it easier to present and analyze large sets of data. Second one is it is more cost effective when it comes to data collection and storage, as it takes less space and effort to collect and organize the data. For the formula, mean is calculated using fx divided by f, which is f is frequencies. For median, first we need to find the cumulative frequencies and position of data. Next, we need to find position of median by using formula frequencies divided by 2, and then apply into the formula that has shown at below. For mode, we use the formula lower boundary of the model class multiplied by difference between the frequencies of the model class and divide D1 plus D2, which means difference between the frequencies of the model class 1 and difference between the frequency of the model class 2, and then multiply them with model class. For variance, we use the formula that given below, and standard deviation just square root of the variance.
Next, for ungrouped data, we determine students' height in UTHM Pagoh.
A survey is done on the daily commuting time, which is in minutes from home to work for all 25 employees of UTHM. Construct the frequency distribution table with the class limit 0 to 9, 10 to 19, and so on. In the table should include class midpoint, class boundary, frequency, and cumulative frequency. Find mean, median, mode, variance, and standard deviation.
Next, for the filler table of ungrouped data, we have all-round background, which is the height of the students in UTHM Pagoh. For the filler table, we have a few things we have to explain, which is facts, ideas, learning issues, and resources needed for the data. First of all, facts. There are students who are considered short. Therefore, there will be difference among the students, because if there are short people, then there will also be tall people. There are 35 respondents from the students in UTHM Pagoh. The ideas on how to solve this problem is to collect the heights of the students in UTHM Pagoh through Google Forms. Next, we also draw a pie chart according to the data recorded. The learning issues is to collect the heights of UTHM students in Pagoh. Next, to find the average height through pie chart. Next, we also calculate the mean, median, mode, and variance standard deviation from the data obtained from the pie chart that we have obtained. There are few resources needed to collect this data, which is Google Form and internet resources. That's all.
For filler table group data, the facts are there are 25 employees of UTHM. The class limit for the frequency distribution table is 0 to 9, 10 to 19, and so on. Most employees took 10 to 19 minutes. For ideas, there are differences at lower and upper class boundary for every class limit. Class midpoint can be determined from the class limit, and the total of each frequency is cumulative frequency. For learning issues, determine the mean, median, and mode, find the variance and standard deviation, and calculate the class midpoint and frequency.
Next, we'll go to the solution of case study. There are a few things that we have to calculate in this case study, which is mean, mode, median, variance, and the standard of deviation. So first of all, we have to calculate mean. Mean, we have 17 data of 150, 2 data of 155, 2 data of 160, 2 of 165, 9 data of 170, and 3 data of 175. We'll divide it by 35 because we have 35 respondents, which is n. So the total of the data is 5,565 divided by 35, which is 159 centimeter. That is the mean for this data. Next, we'll find the median of the data. So first of all, as I've said, to obtain median, we have to arrange the data in increasing order. So there we go. We arrange the data in increasing order. To find the location of the median, the follower is n plus 1 divided by 2. So the n is 35 plus 1 divided by 2 is 18. So the median of the data is at the 18th place, which is 155 centimeter. Which means 50% of students' height at UTHM Pagoh is less than 155 centimeter, and another 50% of the students' height is more than 155 centimeter. Next, we'll go to the mode of the data. Mode of the data is the most frequent data that occurs the most in the set of data. So as we have calculated, the mode is 150 centimeter. The most frequent value of students' height in UTHM Pagoh is 150 centimeter. That means the most of our respondent is 150 centimeter. As we have draw the shape of the distribution is skewed to the right based on the data of mean, mode, and median. Next, we'll go on how to calculate the variance. As we can see the formula, 1 over 35 minus 1, and we have to put the power of 2 on every data of x. Then we divided it, or we minus it with the power of 2 of x minus n. Then we'll get 98.24 centimeter, or we just can argue it is as 98 centimeter. For standard deviation, we just put the root of power 2 from the variance that we have calculated earlier. Means power of 2 for 98.24 centimeter is 9.91 centimeter, or we can just assume it as 10 centimeter. That's all.
For question 2, which is the group data, a survey is done on the daily commuting time, which is in a minute, from home to work for all 25 employees of PTHM. Construct the frequency distribution table with the class limit 0 to 9, 10 to 19, and so on. In the table should include class midpoint, class boundary, frequency, and cumulative frequency. Find mean, median, mode, variance, and standard deviation. Alright, let's look at the table given. The class limit, as we all know, from 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49. The lower boundary, we get it from the lower class from the class limit, we minus it with 0.5. The class midpoint, we get it from the lower class plus the upper class from the class limit, and we divide it by 2. The frequency is the time a number from the class limit is being repeated. The cumulative frequency is a frequency that been added up to the frequency before. Position of the data is the position of the class limit in the data. Fx is frequency times midpoint times class midpoint, and Fx square is frequency times class midpoint square. For the group data, we use the formula of sum of Fi times Si divided by sum of Fi. So we got the answer for the mean is 21.3 minutes. To be exact is 21 minutes. Interpretation, the average of the daily commuting time is 21 minutes. Find the median of the group data. First, we must find the position of the median. The position of the median is, the formula is sum of Fi divided by 2. So we got the sum of Fi is equals to 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. So 12.5 is in the class limit of 10 to 19. The formula of the median is Lm plus bracket sum of Fi divided by 2 minus sum of Fm minus 1 over Fm close the bracket times C. So we got the answer is 19 minutes. So the summary for the median, 50% of the employees required less than 90 minutes to commute to the UTHM, and another 50% of the employees required more than 90 minutes of daily commuting time. Next, mode. Mode is the highest repeated number in one data, which in this case is 10, which in the class limit of 10 to 19. Mode is collected by using the formula of LMO plus bracket delta 1 divided by delta 1 plus delta 2 times C. So the result after being calculated is 15.86 minutes, which to be exact is 60 minutes. The most frequent value of the daily commuting time is 60 minutes. The group data is collected by using the formula of S square equals to 1 over sum of Fi minus 1 bracket sum of Fi times Si square minus bracket sum of Fi times Si close the bracket square over sum of Fi close the bracket. So we get the answer is 131 minutes. The standard deviation for the group data, we use the formula of S equal to power of S square. So we get the answer is 11.45 minutes, so equals to 12 minutes in exact.
Next, the result of ungroup data. For question number 1, mean is calculated using the formula given at the introduction. Using the data taken from the Google form, which is the height of students in UTHM Pago. Next, the median of the data, which is the midpoint of the data, is being calculated using the formula given too. While the mode for the data is the data that most repeated number, which in this case, the number is 150 centimeter. The mode is being obtained just by observing the data that being recorded. After that, variance and standard deviation just calculated using the formula given too.
The data taken from the employees of UTHM about daily commuting time from home to work, the mean of this question is 21.3 or 21 minutes. The midpoint, or more specifically, the median of the group data after being calculated is 90 minutes. Mode for this group data, which is the majority of UTHM employees to commute from home to workplace, which is 15.86 or 16 minutes. Next, the variance that being calculated for this group data is 131 minutes. Lastly, the standard deviation for this group data is 11.45 minutes or 12 minutes to be exact. Thank you very much.